So it might take people a minute to get in here. I accidentally double clicked go live for some reason. And I essentially started and ended the stream 1 second apart. I'm glad this isn't like a super important. So it might take people stream. I don't have my earbuds set up properly. One of those weeks. If anybody got caught in that last stream, I just made it unlisted, but I feel like PK right now. I feel like PK every other time he goes live. I feel like every other time he goes live, he ends up muted or something happens to where he has to start a new live stream. But yeah, I double clicked go live, and right once you click go live, end broadcast becomes the button. So I clicked go live, end broadcast, boom, the shortest live on YouTube. Now I need to reconfigure my highlighted comment and all that. One of those weeks. My voice, I don't know if you can tell or not, but it's not like 100%. It's mostly back, but it's not 100% still. I do have an Arnold Palmer here. Mr. Waller says, "Don't worry about it. You only had a whole work day to prepare." I had a couple people asking, and I saw somebody mention in the prior chat, the old live chat, why I was going live so late. This is actually the start of my work day. I do not have a sitter today. Wife was sick. Son is sick. I leave for one weekend, and everything goes to hell. But I'm here. I'm working tonight. So I'm starting with an hour stream, and then I'm doing dinner, and then I'm getting the kids in bed and all that, and then on to listing and all the daily stuff I have to do. But anyways, I'm back from Dallas. It was a blast. I'm going to do a full-fledged video Monday. It's not going to be crazy. I will say up front, my transparency will be dwindling as this channel progresses, as things go on. Some by necessity. When you get into certain business relationships, when you get into certain situations, there are requirements that full transparency not be given, and then some just by my own choice. As far as exact dollar amounts, I will do my annual sales at the end of every year, but exact dollar amounts for every type of convention and every individual thing, I think some of that will be leaving. Some of that has already left, but some of that more will be leaving. I'm gonna get some music playing. I don't play music for the stream, but I play music for me now. Brad G Card says, Dan sold out, he's keeping secrets now. Yeah, it's because of Moonbrion. I became the owner of a Moonbrion, and everything changed. I'm a changed man, probably for the worse. eBay authentication extended to Canada. Let's go. That's big news. That's actually huge news for all the Canadians. That's great. That's great that you guys have that extra protection for both buyers and sellers. Let me scroll back through chat. I do want to shout out. I do want to say, I need to double check the ending time, but I have the banner up. I'm gonna do my live next week. Will be like the giveaway drawing. I believe. I need to double check that. I think I put the date as May 17th for that, because that way we get on the other side of Mother's Day. I'll probably make next week's stream just like a fun, longer stream. I've been doing a couple hour ones here lately, hour and a half. I might do like a 2-hour stream just to wrap up the whole Tiltify thing. I really appreciate everyone who supported that. It was a fun little challenge, and quite a few people accepted. As you can see down in the corner, we're at $1,330. It doesn't look like we're going to get to the Evolving Skies booster box at $5,000, but there are Celebrations booster packs that could be added at $2,000 if we have like a big final week. Probably not, given that I'm going to be talking about it the most the day that it ends. But anyways, it was fun. I appreciate the support, as I said. Definitely raised a fair bit more money than I was going to donate by myself for breast cancer research. So yeah, I plan on just hanging out for an hour till 5:30. If anyone has questions, let me know. I'll talk a little bit about my schedule. I'm going to try to do a MetaZoo video. I'm not going to be like Nick. I'm not going to be like Old Skool Pokemon and say a video's coming, and then completely bail. But I intend to do my 10,000 pack mass box break. I intend to do that video for Saturday. So I've already ripped the 10,000 packs. It's been over a week since I ripped the 10,000 packs. Crazy busy with Dallas. Crazy busy these last couple of days because I haven't had a sitter. My wife and my son have been sick, home from school. So it's just been pretty hectic. And I have so many PSA submissions to do. I have one PSA submission on my desk that just landed today. It's busy, but personal wise, obviously people being sick is not good busy, but it's good busy business wise at least. So that's a good thing. Mr. War says what incarnation is happening. I think he was talking about the 1 second stream, not the 4:30 p.m. stream. Let's catch up. Who's pumped for Charlotte? 5 sections. Yeah, 5 sections is insane. At some point, it's like, I don't know what we're going to do, but at some point, I mean, the Discord is great for arranging who's going to be in what section, but it's almost becoming a bit cumbersome, and I'm not saying that we're like not going to do it, but at some point, we can't just have like 700 tables worth of people. We can't have every vendor funneling through that Discord. I don't know what the ceiling will be. Hopefully we're near it. Because 5 seconds is a lot. 5 seconds is crazy. Dan going dark after Collecticons. I did not even put the Moonbryon out. I don't know where I put it, but I still do own it. I swear. Rusty made a good comment. I think it was Friday. Rusty made a comment that if you put 1,200 firm on it, you're basically telling everyone that every other price is negotiable. If you watch my live streams, you know that every price is negotiable to some extent. But if you do write firm on one slab, it gives some people that might not have negotiated otherwise would probably try and negotiate. So I'm just like, I don't want to just own it for like a week. I don't want to paper hands it that fast. I'm going to hang on to it for a little bit. We'll see what happens. I'll probably get it listed on my eBay at some point. I'm not in any big rush. It's just, it'll spend some time in the background. It's not in the background right now. I haven't put Dan back. I haven't put Griddle Greaser Pete back. Quaxley and Charmander are just chilling here. Chilling here with the big Quaxley. But yeah, things are still disheveled. I'm still not fully caught up. As I said, my voice isn't fully back either. Make sure y'all little animals hit that like button. I won't finish the message. I don't think we've cured cancer, but I like to think that we've done something towards it. Every dollar helps, right? eBay should donate 1% of the fees they net on every Weiss card to save the boobies. Yeah, that would be a good idea. I mean, every waifu should put some money towards breast cancer research. That would be a nice little promotion they could run. Dan brought the Texas vibes by shooting strays at Old Skool Pokemon. Haven't caught you guys for a while. Background is looking great now. Thanks, Jay. I hope I don't get picked last if I draft it all. Yeah, we've talked about how we're going to allocate the sections. I believe our 5 section leaders will be myself, Nick, Weedle's Warehouse, Ray, and then Mason. How we're going to allocate, I think we have 45 tables worth of interest, and we've had a couple people like adding on. But how we're going to determine who goes where, like I don't know what we're going to do. When tables go live, I'm going to book a section. I'm going to try to coordinate. With like a group text between those 5 people including myself, and we'll try to get sections in the same vicinity. At the end of the day, though, like in Orlando, we had 2 adjacent sections, and I was facing the other one, so I saw them a decent bit, but like sections are pretty big, and I mean, there are people in my own section that I feel like I didn't interact with that much. Like the opposite corner from me, and I'll go way more in depth on everything in my video for Monday. But yeah, if anyone has questions about Dallas, feel free to ask them here. I'll go more in depth on Monday. But like Brad was adjacent to me in the far corner, lazy, and then like DNA and Rock Pokemon and Ray. Like I feel like those guys were so far away and they were within my own section. If we have 5 sections, like if we don't get 5, like what are we gonna go for? We're gonna go for like 2x2 and then one off somewhere in the other direction. If we don't get that exactly, it's not gonna be the end of the world. Because I'm telling you, like how busy it was, how busy these things get, you're not gonna be able to interact much with the people like in the kitty corner section. That's a long ways away, through the crowd and all that. So at the end of the day, as long as people are within the sections, if our sections end up spread out, it's not like a huge deal. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but Yosef Hoffman says, how does one become part of this section thing? That is something that is becoming a bit of like, we've openly just pushed it out and it's getting a bit cumbersome. It's getting a bit overran, I think I might say. At some point, if we get too many more people, we won't have enough people to lead sections, I don't think. So I don't know that I'm going to be like linking it in YouTube anymore. I don't think I'm going to be freely linking it as much in because one thing you can do, people can book 2 tables at a time. We do get a little bit of a discount because we're booking 10 tables at a time, a whole section. But one thing that becomes more of a problem, and Nick and I have talked about this on PokeFlips, I think, but people doing half tables, you only get like 8 badges for a section of 10 tables. So if you've got a couple people doing 2 tables each, that works out with 8. But when you start splitting tables down into half tables, that gets really complicated with badging. It just gets a lot more complicated for the badge pickup people having to distribute all those. Javal says, I'm going to buy 6 tables at the next Collecticon and put nothing on them. Ernesto, I'm listening to the 90s country right now. You don't want to know. Monopoly on CAC tables. Mr. Waller says, we say the firm is silly, but Rusty says it and the man follows it like gospel. Shaking my head. Yeah. Check out, for anyone who hasn't yet, click on Retrospect's name and go to his channel. Bookmark, add it to your watch later, that stream from last night, because that was a good one. It got a little dusty at the end, all that Yu-Gi-Oh ripping, but it was a good stream. Jake Smith, Retro, and Ernesto. It's just register noises on loop, Ernie. Dan hates corners and half tables. Half tables can be rough too. Yeah, because if you end up in a corner, a half table is really rough. I had a half table in Denver, and it was like the far corner, right inside the corner, and it was hard to reach. Long arms, it worked out fine. But Mr. Waller says, I want to be in Nick's section. That man has extra chairs. Yeah, when he takes 5 tables, there's definitely going to be extra chairs. I don't want to get demonetized. Drop a little Tracy Lawrence or Travis Tritt. they come through. They come through a little bit. Definitely getting a table next Fort Worth Collecticon. That was yeah, it was good. I mean, I've heard mixed things from within our section, but overall, again, it will be way more in depth. I'll show a lot and I'll talk about a lot of what I sold. I actually kept, for the first time, I kept actual records of every sale. I did have a lot of higher end stuff. I had some sales like a PSA 9 base first Charizard. Sorry, PSA 9 base first Blastoise. CGC 8 base first Charizard. PSA 9 Crystal Charizard. I emptied my PWCC vault, as I talked about last week. And I brought, not all of it, because it was hundreds of cards, but I brought like 200 cards. And one case was straight WotC, PSA 9s, and then the other one was like modern and non-Pokemon. So overall, like, I was really happy with Dallas. It was not Orlando for me, but what I sold, my margins were a lot higher. I didn't sell out of heavy packs because I priced them pretty up there. Still less than they're streamed with on other platforms through other people. But yeah, I was really happy with it. I sold a handful of heavy packs. I sold a few art sets of light packs. I sold a lot of modern, a lot of vintage cards, a little bit of everything. It was a good variety, good diversity. As far as buyouts, my buyouts weren't big. I did have Cloud and Travis, the mainstays, come by, and they both spent a little bit, but probably 10% of my sales, maybe 10 to 20% of my sales were buyouts. So overall, like I had a lot of individual sales, just one slab, couple of big trades. I had a couple of big trades. I own a couple cards that I really never thought I would have owned, and I guess I won't spoil them in this video because I don't have them handy. But I owned one card in particular. Someone might spoil it in chat, but it is a card I never wanted to own. It's not Pokemon. It featuring someone that I don't like, given my fandom of my own teams that I root for. But it's probably fairly liquid and it's worth quite a bit, and it just worked out. The numbers worked out in the trade, so we'll see how that goes. But handful of decent trades. I'll show off all the raw cards I got. I'll show off the different slabs that I took in trade. Some of the slabs I took in trade I actually already sold. I did one decent sized trade. Queen Metazoo, she already posted about it on her Instagram. But I traded for a Kickstarter booster box. I traded a Kickstarter booster box for a bunch of Pokemon slabs, and I only maybe put 10 or 15 of the 30 that I took in for trade. I probably only put 10 or 15 of them out, and maybe half of them sold. So I've sold through some portion of that. I now only own one Kickstarter Metazoo box, so I'm going to be looking for some more one more Metazoo Kickstarter booster box. Someday I'd like to break one. Maybe I'll do it on one of my live streams if I can get anybody to buy those. I don't know if I would be able to though. But yeah, I want to get another Kickstarter Metazoo box so that I have two again. Mr. Waller says I would sub if Dan does face paint for sure. Spin Out Cards says, had the chance to meet you in Dallas. Thanks for taking the time to chat and look at that error card. Super cool, dude. I looked at a few error cards. I can actually see your avatar though. I do remember. I'm trying to remember what the card was though specifically. Was it the Roku? The Roku. I just said it. I said it wrong. The Raikou. Was it the Raikou V from Crown Zenith? That was one error card that's coming immediately to mind, like a CGC9 Raikou V from Crown Zenith. There were some other ones I looked at, but I can't put my finger on specifically what they were. It's funny because after you left Gem Mint Pokemon, the guy that I would have pointed you to if he was behind me, he popped up maybe an hour later. So it wasn't too much later that he was there. And I mean, I kind of asked him about it a little bit. He said one thing with ultra modern cards like that have these errors, they're just less fleshed out, because WotC cards that have errors, there's been 20 something years that we've been able to see how many are coming up, how many are out there, how many are graded. With these brand new ones, I guess one thing that Zach voiced is you could have a massive amount coming out, and if you're the one buying one of the first ones before like the floodgates unleash, you could probably get wrecked with them. But yeah, okay, so I do remember. Nothing like crazy in value, but at the end of the day, it's like what you're willing to take, what a buyer's willing to pay. That's always the answer for more obscure niche things. Yosef plans to go to Charlotte. Dan was fire selling first edition base, crystals, Neo Shining, and more, but didn't even bring the Moonbreon out. I had the OG Moonbreon out. So for anyone who watched my short on Friday, I didn't put out the ultra modern. I was paper handing the vintage. I think I listed my vintage at 1500, the PSA 9 first edition Neo Discovery Umbreon, but I didn't even put out. So I'm trying to sell my Neo Discovery Umbreon, the one that I like more, the one that I think is the better card, and then I'm trying to diamond hands the ultra modern one. I've only had it for a week though, to be fair, and to be fair, I've had the Neo Discovery one for 4 or 5 years at least. Trades with Harry. I did do a trade with PokeClose husband. I heard his name a couple times throughout the weekend, and at one point I forget what I mistook his name to be. But yeah, I did trade. I guess one trade that I can kind of spoil before my video. I was hoping to get a little bit more out of it, but we went back and forth in negotiations, and then Zach was there. Gem Mint showed up. 2022 Champions Festival pack. I showed it on stream before I left. One of the things I really wanted to sell, because I would be a little sketched out selling a blister pack on eBay. I would worry that someone might try to scam me with it. At the end, like, I wouldn't worry that much. I wouldn't be that uncomfortable selling it. But $1,500 is what they go for on eBay. If I got $1,500 on eBay after fees, after shipping, it's like you're talking $1,300-ish. These go for a little over $1,000. I mean, $1,200-ish, $1,300-ish, right in that vicinity of what I would have netted. And the EV on these, if I'm able to get a PSA 10 Japanese, PSA 10 English, is there. So I was able to trade. I took this, Zach took cash, and Harry took the Team Rocket Returns blister for his collection. So it was a good, nice little three-way trade we worked out. So it's always cool when you can get some trades done. Part purchase, part trade, I guess, right? Because Harry's portion was cash to Zach. How's it going, Java? How's it going, the Pull Father? It only takes one. I did have a few sales of heavy packs. If anyone hasn't seen it yet, I linked it on my YouTube community page, and I also posted it on Instagram. Go check out the Green Shiz. I hung out with Josh a lot of the weekend. Go check out his vlog. I won't have a nice fancy vlog. I took a couple pictures at the convention, but not much. But I won't spoil what he pulled. He did buy a heavy base from me. So I had an open box that I had bought that I wasn't 100% confident in the well, I mean, I was 99% confident in the packs, but if I open the box myself, then I'm like 100% confident in the pack. So the lightest of the 10 heavy packs I had from that box, I sold at a discount. I was selling $700 heavy packs. I sold that for $500 to Josh, because if he were to open that, if it was Hitmonchan, if it was something like that, it's like, okay, you get wrecked. I get information. Well, I almost just said what he pulled. He had a decent pull, and there's a path for him to make money depending on the grade that it gets. I'll be interested to see who he ends up grading with, because there might be a play with a different grading company per some past sales. But yeah, the reason I was talking about WotC packs being ripped is because the Pull Father, like every week, he's ripping heavy Fossil First Edition and all these different WotC packs. His like tagline is "It only takes one." Go check out his channel. So check out the Green Shiz for the vlog. Check out the Pull Father for just WotC packs being ripped left and right. That card's a brick, Dan. You got scammed. I might have. I mean, I honestly don't know. I saw a couple sales. We valued it at slightly under what the last two auctions were. So I feel like it went it will go okay, but we'll see. It's not someone that plays in my state. I'll say that. I'll take the Kickstarter box for the usual $25. I need another box signed as a memento in Charlotte. Roku. Roku iconic. I have to consciously think every time I'm going to say Raikou, and I let it slip out that time. My mouth was ahead of my brain. Raikou. It's still not like for me now, Suicune is just natural. When I go to say Suicune, it comes out Suicune. When I was younger, it was Suicune for like over a decade. But I finally kicked that habit. I've still not kicked Roku. I still need to consciously think about Raikou. Hulu is the best legendary dog. Oh man, that's funny. Dan, how does it feel to build a following on trust, flipping, and reliability, only to throw it away for Moonbrion? Oh, that's funny. Oh, man. Dustin, I did see your message on eBay, and I replied. I have made a note. So I'll do that. Suicide kills me every time. Mr. Walrus says that the Pole Father's, I mean, the Pole Father's name too. I mean, it has some ties in there. But Mr. Walrus says it only takes one, I believe, is the slogan for Trojan. That's a good one. Dan told me don't tie up my money on vintage Charizard, and then he bought Moonbreon for market. No. Moonbreon market is 1,000 for a 10, 900 for a 10. I got a, you can't say guaranteed 10, but I got a 99% 10 from a guy, Jackson. I forget his exact handle, but no, Saxon, I think. Let me look it up now so I don't get it wrong. But I got that on my EXT Market Returns Mewtwo PSA 10, which was valued at like 1,600, and he gave me 900 cash in that. So I paid over raw mint for the Moonbreon, but decently under the 10. So I definitely did well on that. But I think he did pretty well too, because that Rockets Mewtwo, that's a great card. Gym Leader Saxon. That's who I traded it to. There's a kid in my son's class named Jackson, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. So I'm mixing up names left and right all over the place. I think in 2078, we will still hear how Dan used to pronounce dog names at 11 years old. Walrus extended from stealing plays to stealing jokes. Dan in Orlando, it was a guaranteed 10. Why the switch up? There's no such thing as like a guaranteed 10. I mean, there's no guarantee that the grader wouldn't have put a nice little corner ding on it or something, but it was as close as you can be to a guarantee. The backpedaling on Moonbreon is crazy. Is this why Jake stopped making content? Oh man, I'm losing chat here. I'm losing you guys. We're going off the rails. What would you have done if your Moonbreon had come back a 9? That card was so clean that it probably would have been worthy of a crack and resend. Honestly, I probably would have looked at what BGS 9.5s get. And if BGS 9.5s got some kind of a premium, I probably would have done that. But yeah, again, one of the more confident cards I've ever been in. I can never be 100% sending a card, but like I actually just got a return back, and I'm months late to the play. But I sent, how many? I sent 15 of these, I guess. 14 10s and 1 8. Like, in these cards, these 001 SVPs, I do look them over. I don't open it if they look like they have an issue. I don't know what got the 8. But yeah, 14 out of 15 is pretty solid when you're like guaranteed 10s. Must be a little scratch that I missed, or maybe a scratch that I put on it, or maybe the grader put on it. Who knows? Jake's been super busy with work. Jake is still doing, I guess I'll take this time while people are asking to shout out our Pokenomics Patreon. Nice little paywall. I have it linked down in the bottom of the description below. We do a monthly Zoom meeting where we do like a deep dive, some kind of analysis into the Pokemon markets. Last month, it was my month to go. We rotate. So it goes me, then Jake, then we have a special guest every third month. And for last month, I did a deep dive on the eBay sell-through rate of, not sell-through rate, but like total sales volume. Medizu, Lorcana. I mean, obviously Lorcana is just the promos for now, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic, Pokemon, Medizu. I think I said Medizu already. But I looked at that quarter by quarter over the past 2 years from the data that we get on TerraPeak. And we do all different kinds of deep dives once a month in Zoom. And then weekly, this is where I'm going to with Where's Jake. Weekly, we do office hours. And that's just us going into a Discord voice chat where we're available for anyone, just general Q&A. Kind of like this on YouTube, but it's just a more private setting in Discord, I guess. Mine are this quarter. We change them every 3 months. We change what our hour is. Mine are Thursdays at 9 p.m. Jake's are Tuesdays at 1 p.m., if I remember correctly. So Jake is still interacting in Discord in the office hour. I think he intends to come back at some point, make more videos. But yeah, life happens. Work gets busy. This is work for me. So it's like, this can't get that busy. But even me, this is me full time, and I was an hour late doing my stream today because life happens. And yeah. Um, um, he would have bought a 10 and lied to us. Just say it's guaranteed, Dan, and you guarantee we'll make a profit. You know you want to. Ernesto's guaranteed jumping. Nice little paywall. Retro loves paywalls. Retro loves paywalls so much. That's actually one thing I'll talk about. There was a little bit of like a paywall. I don't know if I would call it drama, but like I know some people really didn't like the idea of it. But I actually, one of my favorite things of the weekend was the paywall trade night. It was $20. It was $20, and you got free food. Free, I mean included. You got food included. The food was fine. I mean, it wasn't anything crazy, but like Rock Pokemon was just killing it with the tuna. Man had like all the tuna in the world. I'm not a fish guy really, but I had a few like sliders. They had burgers and they had burgers and like tuna and a few other things. I don't know. The beers were very expensive. I was having very expensive beers, but for $20 for like the cover charge, you got the food. And then you also got chips towards like a casino night thing. I played blackjack with a few other guys. I played blackjack with like, who was sitting with me? Nick was with me. Zach was with me. A few other people were hanging out there. We kind of had like most of the table, and lost all my chips pretty quick. So I didn't get anything out of the chips, but had you won or had people like compile their chips together, you could actually go over to the prize wall. And it's funny because like you paid $20 for this chip to get in. Nick and I actually paid VIP, so we got double the chips and a free shirt. I didn't even take the shirt because I didn't really like this shirt. Anyways, if you valued how much the chip was worth based off what was on the wall that you could get with it, the chips were worth like $30 a piece. So the chips were actually like undervalued. So this $20 cover charge got you free food and like the green shiz. I mean, I'm not going to spoil his video. I'm not going to spoil what he picked up. His best pickups from the weekend were at the trade night. So for me, like the value was there, but it was like a paywall, and some people didn't want to. Yeah, I don't know. So it sold out. It ended up selling out. They stopped letting people in at one point because I think we had the room filled, probably like fire marshal issues or whatever, capacity issues. Dan, my friend Cheval, sold one CGC 9.5 bag, and now he thinks he's Charlie Herlacher. Thoughts? I have no thoughts on that. Let me see if somebody here is texting me. No, I think it was just an eBay notification. Reminds me of Cheval's. It reminds me of that substitute teacher in South Park when she says "present them." That's all you got to tell them. When Retro or Ernie hit you with the LMB, you just got to tell them "present them," and then they'll back off. Hopefully. The Pole Father verified that he's not infringing on Trojan's slogan, so that's good. I should have sold my token like Brad. I had fun. The blackjack was fun. I was getting destroyed. Nostalgianomics says blackjack. All right, you sold me on Collecticon. Save me a seat next time. I don't know if that will be a thing every time. That was a first of its kind thing. That was the first time they've done that. It was put on by like New Street. They do stuff with shoes and NFTs, so nothing really like up my alley. I do own some MetaZoo NFTs, which I've talked about, but I kind of hope that's a thing every time, because we went out to the bars Friday night and I lost my voice, and then we went out to like the trade night thing Saturday night, and then we went to like a quieter bar closer to the hotel. Where we went Friday night was like fun, but my scene is not like the bars where you have to yell 2 feet away from each other. And you have to wait 20 minutes. Not 20 minutes is an exaggeration, but there's like one bartender and like hundreds of people or 100 people. I don't like that. Where we went Saturday night, they had food and they had IPAs and they had quick service. I emptied my IPA. I turned around, bought an IPA, whatever I bought some nachos. Quick service was quick. And I was much more of a fan of doing trade night and then to like a quieter bar. the hotel lobby meetups, the hotel bar meetups are more my scene than like Ubering out 20 minutes away to some super loud bars where we did spin a big wheel and we took some kind of a crazy shot that a wheel told us to do, which was I told Zach the only way I was doing a shot is if the wheel told me what to do, and unfortunately I did a shot Friday night, and I can do IPAs all day, but the shots get to me too much. Not like anything bad, but just I was in good shape and just yelling for 8 hours straight. More than that, 12 hours straight between the barbecue and the bars. My voice was almost completely gone Friday night before the convention started. I didn't take the shirt. I thought the shirt was going to be something Collecticon related, something Pokemon related maybe, but it was just New Street. I think it just had New Street's logo. Like, I do wear a lot of shirts that are just like Mets, Rangers, Jets. I do advertise a lot of things for free. I don't want to advertise New Street. Like, I don't really know what they are, what they do. And then selling vintage slabs at CAC sounds like a fever dream. Haha. Dan Scene is pulling up the Spicy Manor at 8 p.m. Absolutely blasted out of his mind. The shots, the shots did it. I shouldn't have done that, but yeah, I did go to Spicy Manor Saturday night, and I had no voice left. Had I continued talking all night at Spicy Manor, I wouldn't have been able to talk at all Saturday. And thankfully, I had a little bit of a voice Saturday, and then it was gone completely Sunday. If anyone watches Josh's video, they'll hear how bad my voice was Sunday, and it was real bad. Had I kept going Friday night, it would have been that on Saturday. Yeah. Dan, thoughts on your gnarly voice crack on the Green Shiz's vlog? I trace it right back to that shot. I trace it right back to the bar with the spin wheel and the shot that I took. That's what did it. It was a blast, though. I had a lot of fun in Dallas, and I don't know what I'm going to be doing next year. It'll be more like schedule dependent. At some point, I would like to hit all of them. I know Kansas City gets a little bit like memed on. I'm sure Kansas City would be a blast. I'm not making Long Beach this year, but I guess the ones I'm missing this year are Long Beach and Denver, Kansas City. I have done Denver. I'm not saying I'll never go to Denver again. I do want to go see Swami if that's going to be the only one he goes to. But I want to hit them all eventually. Like, I've not yet done Long Beach. I'm probably going to do... I'm definitely doing Charlotte. I've already done that, but I'm going to do it again. And it's just close, and it's a good weekend for me. Whereas, like, Long Beach is just a bad weekend for me with my personal schedule. But, yeah, we'll see what the slate is for next year. Orlando's nice because it's like the first one of the year, or at least it has been. Going to Orlando in February is nice. That might be like a staple for me because it's close. I mean, it's pretty close. It's not too long of a flight. East Coast, and the convention center being physically like tied to the hotel is really nice. So Orlando might be like a staple as long as I don't have something personally that conflicts with it. And then next year, maybe I'll try to hit Long Beach. Maybe Kansas City. We'll see though. If everyone's going to the other ones, maybe I'll be stuck going to the same ones. But at the end of the day, I would really like to, at least eventually, 5 years from now, I would like to be able to say I've done Collecticon in every city because they are a blast. Question for Dan: why now? I don't know what this is about, but what did I do? Why now? Am I streaming, or are you talking like some meme, something generally? I'm streaming now because I'm working tonight. I wasn't able to work today. No sitter today. Nostalgianomics says he's 100% coming to a Collecticon in the future. Will CAC ever expand? A Midwest event would be nice. Given the success, I would be shocked if they were to not try out new cities and maybe try out more events next year. I don't have any special information or anything like that, but I would be surprised. Long Beach sold out in what, hours? And that was at an increased price to one of the earlier ones. I would love for them to get like a New York location. Boston would be close. New York, Boston, anywhere in Pennsylvania would be drivable for me. Anywhere in New York would be drivable. And it would be cool if you could get like a Chicago. I know a lot of those cities are pretty expensive, but maybe like an Indianapolis, like I don't know, try to get something more in the middle. We'll see what happens. I think the schedule usually goes up in like November, the end of the year. Maybe they'll unveil it in November at Houston, what the schedule is for next year. That would be cool. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. As far as for this year, though, I'm going to be doing Charlotte. Charlotte, like, as sure as I can be, as long as nothing comes up that makes me have to cancel, I'll be doing Charlotte for sure. Kind of like the Moonbryon. As sure as I can be, I'm doing Charlotte. As sure as I could be, the Moonbryon was a 10, barring unforeseen circumstances. And then Houston is like, I would say more than 50% chance I'm going to do Houston. We'll have to see, though. I forget exactly when it is. Retro says, "Who is the best dressed PokeTuber and why is it Giovanni?" I don't know, man. We were in that new street trade night. They had all these fancy shoes, $300 Nikes, $5,000 like Gucci Nikes, whatever they were, Supreme, different crazy things. I forget what my brand even is. It's like a $30 pair of shoes from Walmart. It's not even like the dad shoes New Balance. It's like it's like $10 cheaper than dad shoes New Balances. So I'm looking pretty sharp with my Pokemon tees. Dad shoes from Walmart. Looking pretty good over here, I would say myself, fashion-wise. Switching from beer to liquor at the trade night, it was all downhill for me after that, yeah. Come to KC, only a few hour drive for me. I can't do Kansas City this year. I forget when it is exactly, but I think tables are already sold out. Or did they do Kansas City tables? Yeah, Kansas City's in July, so it's over a month before. Tables must be long sold out for Kansas City. Maybe next year, though. Maybe next year I'll do Kansas City. Ernesto says Orlandi best. He can drive to it, so yeah, for him. Ernie Warehouse open for Orlandi. Orlandi and LBC, the top two shows. Question: if gifted a Quaxley onesie, would you wear it at Charlotte? Not to the convention, but I mean, enough IPAs, a Quaxley thing, like, it could probably be put on for some short amount of time. Late in the evening, maybe in like a hotel lobby type situation where I could have a quick exit back to my room. But who knows? Who knows? Definitely not at a convention all day. I'd be sweating. Evening dance stream, marriage good, LOL. I covered it earlier, but wife and son are sick, sitter is sick, everything fell apart when I left for a weekend, so I'm doing a quick 1 hour stream from 4:30 to 5:30. I'm doing dinner, hanging out with the family for a little bit. I mean, hung out with my kids all day, but getting them to bedtime, and then I'm working all night, so it's a work night. This is the start of my day, as opposed to the end of my day. Everything's good, though. It was very nice seeing you, Josh, in Dallas, and really liked the vlog. Dustin says, do you ever sell light-based packs? I will be doing a listing. I don't know if I'll get to it tonight, but it is like, I did my 10 for today already. So if I do it tonight, it will be scheduled for tomorrow. I have at least 20 art sets of base set light packs. I've already sent, like, full disclaimer, I've sent the best condition ones for grading. These are the ones that don't look as great. That said, I've talked about pack grading a million times. I don't know what they're grading. There could be 10s in there. There could be 8s in there. I have no idea. But I will be selling. I did sell at Dallas. I was doing 800 cash. Cash in hand at a convention has its benefits. It doesn't have 12% eBay fees. I'll probably be doing around 900 to 1,000 for art sets on eBay. But if you're interested, Dustin, if contact initiates through eBay, it goes through eBay. You're asking about them on YouTube, though. If you want to Instagram DM me, if you want to email me, I can definitely do like maybe I'll do them on my website or just do like a PayPal deal. Avia, that's right, Avia. Brad G remembered my my shoe brand, Avias. Is Charlotte going to print? It's going to be a blast. I'm sure it will do well. It's all about pricing. Like, I walked around. So again, I'll talk about it more in my video on Monday. I picked up, because I had to fly out at 4. I left with Josh for an Uber for an airport at 4. The convention ended at 6. I picked up my table at 2. And I walked around the convention for 2 hours. A lot of people do not want to sell. Like, it's funny how many comments I get from people coming to my table, and they're like, everyone was busting my chops about that Blastoise slab that I put 5K on. I ended up selling it for 3,500 because it's like, when they got $100 bills in front of me, I can't help. I'll have more on that story in my video on Monday. I got scammed by Ray. But I price replaceable items to sell. Like, I look at last sold, I go under it by a little bit. Cash, I mean, you can talk me down, I'll take a percentage, whatever. With the WotC stuff, that stuff is not replaceable. I'm not going out tomorrow and ripping a heavy first edition base Blastoise. I'm not buying collections left and right all day every day for a PSA 9 Blastoise first edition or a Moonbryon PSA 9 Discovery. Cards like that, I priced higher. People were busting my chops last week on the live because I was pricing my WotC higher. And when Travis came, I said, no WotC. I'm not 70%ing WotC. But I did sell several. I mean, if and when people came to me with cash in hand and they were ready to do a deal close to last sold, Blastoise, we actually did 3,500. One sold that night on PWCC for like 3,300. I think mine was quite a bit cleaner though. So at the end of the day, a long answer to a short question. Is Charlotte going to print? If you bring good slabs priced well, you will print. I mean, a lot of people just bring like super niche stuff or way overpriced stuff. I mean, I'm not going to call anyone out by name, but even in my own section, I guess I'll call out Nick by name. Old Skool Pokemon. There were some slabs that he had 50 on, I had 40 on. I had 40 on and I was willing to go 70%. Nick did well. Nick sold a lot. He prices things pretty well, but I price things, if it's stuff that is so replicable that I know, just boom, boom, boom. I can go on eBay tonight. I can go on TCG Player tonight and buy 100 mint copies. I move that stuff. Like, absolutely. A lot of people don't, though. A lot of people price stuff crazy. Outside of free product from Rusty, what is the bull case on Charlotte? High poverty state, no sales, broke boys confirmed. I sold a ton in Charlotte, aside from Rusty's, aside from my big dealer Rusty. Every one of these conventions, Kansas City, Charlotte, there's money everywhere. Like, I don't know where it comes from. But it's somewhere. Every day I'm packing and shipping $200 slabs on eBay. The money's out there, and it comes to these conventions. So I think you bring the right inventory, priced well, you can do 50K in Charlotte, you can do 50K in Kansas City, you can do 50K anywhere. You just got to have the inventory priced right. The right inventory priced right. And a lot of people don't. That's the big issue. Question for Daniel: if the 10 is 1K and the 9 is 200, do we always crack and resub if centering is okay? If it looks like a 10, I mean, give it one more shot. I've never cracked a card twice that I can think of. Yeah, I don't think I've ever cracked a card twice. So there are some cards that are worth a second try. And if and when you get the same card, the same grade twice, to me that like locks it in. Dan going to be running his own trade-up challenge at his table. I sold my CGC 8 base versus Charizard for cash to a guy, one of Peak's friends. Shout out to Peak. Not Peak That Chew, but Peak. And there was a kid talking about trading while he was like counting out cash for the Charizard. And he's like, when the kid left, like not to where you could hear it, or he's like, yeah, I'm doing a trade up challenge myself. I'm trying to trade up into like paying off my mortgage. I'm trying to trade up into cash, trade up into my salary. Like, I will say I didn't really have any trade up challenge issues. I don't know what the deal was. Maybe they were all getting caught at Nick or somewhere else, but I don't think I had anyone ask, like one or two people maybe. Drunk Dan would rock a Quaxley onesie 100%. Yeah, for sure. Not out of the bar, not like out of the convention. But if we're talking like, if everyone's hanging out 2, 3 a.m. at the lobby hotel and I've got a Quaxley onesie back in my room, there's a decent chance that I could make my way to my room, put on a Quaxley onesie. I mean, I'm a big dude. I'm 250 pounds, 6'4". So it would have to be a big Quaxley onesie. It would have to be like custom made probably. um, how much am I selling them for? I think I covered that. I was doing 800 cash, but I'll probably do like 900. I mean, DM me on Instagram or email me. There's links for everything below in my link tree. DM me or email me. I'm sure we could figure out something via PayPal. Those items I've never listed, or at least not in years. I've not listed in years a light art set of packs. I was selling light art sets of packs when I was ripping boxes years ago. That was actually funny though. Yeah, running into people from sales platforms at the convention, it's like, yeah, I might be selling some things off the platform. But at the end of the day, like, eBay allows you to have things. There's no rule for eBay that you can't have things listed on eBay and then sell them in your brick and mortar store or sell them at a convention. If and when that ever was a rule, people would just delist, take them for the weekend, and then relist. I'm interested, but don't know if I could get the whole art set at once. I could sell individual arts too. No, I price replaceable items to sell the Moonbreon 1200 firm. You got me good. Yeah, that's a fair point. I should probably buy one for 600, grade another 10, and then just like keep that churning. Oh, that's funny. Retro actually got me good there. You got to have a couple bags you hold, right? Everyone's got a couple bags they carry. Oh man, I printed in Orlando. Y'all need to come to Florida next year. Ernesto says, not Nostalgianomics, not Green Shiz, not Chevals. There you go. DNA sent all his trade ups to Old Skool. Nick, yeah, everyone was just sending their trade ups to Nick. That's awesome. Light art set might be the single darkest phrase in the hobby. Hold on, everyone. When you're done with this, I'm ending in 7 minutes. I'm ending at 5:30. Bonus, like, after hours Dan stream. Go watch the last hour. If you want dark in the hobby, if you want dust in the hobby, watch the last hour of retro stream from last night with Ernesto and Jake Smith. I mean, man's talking about displays. Man's talking about binders. Man's talking about, I think you're talking about arts. You're talking about all kinds of collector boy stuff in there. It was getting pretty dark by the end, but yeah. Uh-oh. Then in all seriousness, what's the best way to handle being scammed? Because I just got scammed. If done through eBay, PayPal, the best way to handle it is to do the proper channels of opening a return, opening cancellation, opening like a item not as described. So if you've done it through a protected channel, hopefully, open a case. If you bought it with a credit card, you have backing by eBay potentially, PayPal potentially, and your credit card potentially. So pursue any avenues you have with those. If you bought something cash, that gets tougher. I mean, there's so many layers to this. I would need to know more specifics to know how to advise you to move ahead. At the end of the day, though, like, sometimes you lose some. Cash App. Do you have the guys? Facebook? Do you have any information for the guy? I mean, scamming people online is illegal. You go to the police and you say that someone stole Pokemon cards from me, whatever. You might have issues that they might not take it seriously, especially if it's done like someone out of state. You can try, but at the end of the day, DNA says, I ain't giving your money back. At the end of the day, like, if and when you took an L, I mean, I've taken some L's. I've bought on Japanese sites, beauty products that ended up damaged. No recourse, no buyer's protection. I've taken an L. To some amount, it doesn't feel good, and you won't like hearing it, but it's kind of like a cost of doing business. You do enough business, some small percent, significantly less than 1%, you'll have issues, and you'll just take an L. If you've got his Facebook and his address, I mean, $600. Sounds like a heavy pack. Sounds like a heavy pack of some kind. At the end of the day, like, it all depends on how hard you want to push it, because he has your name and address too, I'm sure, and people can be crazy. But, I mean, if he straight up scammed you and you have evidence, call the police. I mean, I don't know what they'll do, but tell them you're going to go to the police, gut shot. Yeah, I mean, it sucks. Tell them you're going to go to the police, take whatever evidence you have. I mean, it's a crime. I mean, if you defraud someone, especially through the mail, if he mailed it to you, that's actually like a serious crime. Whether or not your police or his police will take it seriously, that's a different scenario. But yeah, I mean, you can actually pursue. At the end of the day, being realistic, likely not much will come from it, but maybe you can scare him. Maybe you can scare him into giving the money back. Again, yeah, like I'm not going to make any suggestions that could get you in danger. Like people can be crazy, and I would not advise like, I mean, I've heard of things where people call someone's employer that's listed on their Facebook. People call someone's mom, like Mr. Walrus says, reach out to his mom. I'm not going to specifically advise any of that, but I've heard some people doing things like that. And if the guy's crazy, that like the kinds of people who will scam are bad people. And I just worry, like, especially when you're on Facebook, he has your name. He has the picture of you and your family. Yeah, $600 is a lot, but it's also like, it's not worth risking your or any of your loved ones' safety over something like that. The reason, yeah, always use PayPal goods and services when doing business online. It's all a feel thing. It's all a comfort thing. Me personally, if and when I risked it, if I YOLO'd friends and family or Cash App or Venmo, I would eat it. If they had my name, my face, my address, the individual who's going to steal $600 from you might make your life hell in other ways. If you try to threaten them with police, if you try to contact their place of work and things like that. Me personally, I'm going to take the $600 L and I'm not going to pursue. But if and when you want to, I mean, you have some of his information. Call the police. Start with the police and see what they say, is what I would say. Oh, wow. The Green says, I had a name and address and found someone on LinkedIn and was able to garnish their wages after they no-showed court. That's crazy. That's actually, you got to tell that story on YouTube at some point. Or if you have, send me a link to that video because I must have missed it. But I know, like my uncle before, one of my uncles that had a rental property, guy scammed him out of a bunch of money. He left the place a wreck. The security deposit didn't cover how much money my uncle lost. My uncle took him to small claims court. He won. He got a judgment. The guy had no wages to garnish. The guy was like, the guy was like, I don't want to say, the guy was a, if I was speaking in person, I would speak more freely with certain words. But he was not a good person. He was a bad human being who took my uncle for thousands of dollars and did a bunch of damage. And at the end of the day, he did like odd cash jobs. He had no paycheck. He had no bank accounts, nothing to garnish. He didn't file his taxes, no refund to garnish. So my uncle got a judgment against the guy, but you can't get blood from a stone. There was no money to collect. So at the end of the day, like, $600 is a lot, but also your sanity. Like you can pursue it as much as you want and it might drive you insane. And it might like, I mean, again, the guy has your address. Is he going to send you crazy stuff in the mail? Or if you're local to him, is he going to like, yeah, if he was local to me, I would probably just be like, okay, I got scammed $600. That's a valuable learning lesson moving ahead. That is why PayPal goods and services exists. But sorry to end on a bad note, but I'm gonna have to end here. It is 5:30. I'm gonna try to catch up on the last couple messages, but let me see. I'll scam you only if you're my friend. Homie scams. We do like homie scams, right? Selling heavy packs to the homies, having them pull jump bluffs or something like that. Oh man. Then I was forced to wear a Pokemon onesie for my whole stag the other weekend in public, so I think you can man up and put one on for the con. The con, I would just be sweating. I would be so uncomfortable and sweaty. Late night at like the hotel lobby, for sure. I mean, yeah. Enough IPAs for sure. All this talk of garnish is making me hungry. Lit stream fam, sad ending. Yep, never again. Sorry, the Pole Father. The Pole Father, it only takes one. All these risky deals, Cash App, friends and family, it only takes one time to be scammed. Sorry to use your own tagline against you with that, but it's a learning lesson, right? It's a learning lesson. Pursue the police if you want to. I mean, potentially message a few people on Facebook, but I would be uncomfortable personally with that route. And yeah, with that, I appreciate everyone hanging out for this quick hour stream. I will probably, if I don't have my MetaZoo video this Saturday for 10,000 packs of native, it will definitely be by next Saturday. But I think I'll get it in time for this Saturday. So 10,000 native packs, pulls, Saturday. Monday will be a full Collecticon recap. And then I'll be back to my normal streams next week. Live on Wednesday. Poke Flips on Thursday with Ray. So a lot of streams are coming up. I really look forward to It Only Takes One to Learn. But yeah, that's kind of like my schedule for the next week. Really looking forward to wrapping this up. I'm gonna do Sporkles next week. Next week is gonna be Sporkle week. I'm gonna redo the 151 and see if I can beat my own 88. I'm gonna actually try to study, and I will do the finalization of how much money I have to donate for everyone who accepted my challenge. And I'll do the giveaways. I'll be giving away the Scarlet Violet Booster Box, the Charizard UPC. So if you haven't commented yet, go back and comment on the video. There are very few comments overall. Everyone who commented, everyone who entered has a pretty decent shot of winning those. So yeah, with that, don't worry on the MetaZoo video. We good. I appreciate everyone hanging out. I will catch you all later.